Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
Mata Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Ram. We'll wait for a few minutes, then we will start.
Okay. Prabhuji, how will be the process of the examination like next Tuesday?
Can I discuss that maybe towards the end of the discussion?
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna everyone.
Vinay Prabhu Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri.
Prabhuji's Mataji's Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Ram Prabhupada. Sorry, I was on another call. I was taking that call along with when everybody joined earlier, but now I'm fully here. Okay. Does anyone has any questions from assignments or before we jump into our summary?
What will be the format of the exam? Like it will be essay type, or we need to remember certain
Yeah.
keywords?
Sureshwari Gopi Mataji also asked the same question. So the format will be, I will say at the end also, the format will be, there will be 10 to 12 questions. 10 to 12 questions. And it will be subjective. We have to write and explain.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Any other question?
Yeah, there are a lot of words. Like if we, English meaning is clear, we can figure it out. But when we look just at the word, sometimes the meaning is not clear. Like we have to just remember and practice a bit more. A lot of words which are used in the book.
Mm. If we have an idea, I mean, okay. Um, uh, the exam is so easy that you all can get 10%. That's what I can say. If it helps to um, um, give an idea of the if we have basic understanding of what's in the book, a basic understanding of Krishna consciousness, you can answer any question.
Yes,
What
Prabhuji.
what the 11 verses are about, what is the main theme, those everybody should know. We discussed lot more than what the exam would ask, but because our purpose is not the exam, our purpose is understanding. But exam point of view, it's a piece of cake for all of
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
you. Okay. Any other question? Anyone?
Actually, exams are good because of the exams. Like there's a lot of deep desire to understand much more.
Yeah. So do we do the summarization now?
Prabhuji, just not a question, but I just wanted to mention that actually the assignments helped a lot, Prabhuji, because I feel like whatever we learned in verse 1, by the time we reach the end of Nectar of Instruction, I'd already forgot. So every week, if we can get an assignment, Prabhuji, that will be helpful for review. That way, every week we can review from the previous verses. Also, we can go over that. So every week, if we get one assignment, that will be helpful, Prabhuji.
You mean instead of at the end one assignment
Yes.
for all courses?
Yes.
In Nectar devotion, it will be. I mean, it won't be every week, but it will be 5 assignments. So that will help. It's more distributed.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri.
Prabhuji, how frequently will the assignments be in Nectar of Devotion? Because personally for me, I think one week, like every week will be very hard to do. But like, what do you think, how frequently the assignments will be distributed for Nectar of Devotion?
I mean, depends upon if we cover one chapter in a week or 2 weeks. There are total 20 chapters. So maybe first 4 chapter. So probably 1.5 months, one assignment, I would think. 6 weeks.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you, Prabhu.
I mean, this course is not designed by me. This all these exams and assignments are coming from India. Those who designed this course, we are just conducting it. Every temple conducts it, so we follow the same pattern that we have received it. Okay. Any other question before we go to the summary?
Prabhuji, the answers will be checked by you or it is going to India? The assignments?
The assignments will be checked by me. Only um, uh, uh, the question paper comes, but everything else is the individual temple take care of it. So everything will be in the hand of the local temple, issuing the certificates, checking the assignments, the score, publishing. It's our only.
So,
Okay.
Prabhuji, I have a question. What will be the format of the exam, Prabhuji? Is that multiple choice or
Yeah,
subjective?
Same question was asked few minutes back. So I will say at
Oh,
the end also, but I will say now also. 10 to 12 questions, each question carrying 5 marks. Exam will be 1.5 hours long, and it will be so easy that if you have a basic understanding of all the verses, in fact, if you like whatever we are discussing today, if you are thorough with what we are discussing today, you are getting full marks. It is so easy, actually.
so Prabhuji, it will be, you say, I think I missed it. It's subjective, Prabhuji, you are saying, or
Subjective.
subjective? Okay.
Can you explain this? Can you elaborate on this? Um, uh, yeah. We should be able to have an understanding of all the 11 verses, what they speak about, what the theme of those verses is. Just a basic understanding is sufficient. And I mentioned before also, I'm saying now also, the purpose of classes is not the exam. We go much more in depth, in detail in our discussions. It is for our advancement of our Krishna consciousness and getting a clear understanding. But from exam point of view, it is super easy.
Prabhuji, I had a question.
One
Hari
thing,
Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I had a question about that exam as well. Uh, does that exam also include open book or closed book exam?
It's a closed book.
Okay.
We cannot see the book that time, exam time.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Because if you see the book, you have all the answers right in front of you.
Right, exactly, Prabhuji.
They are not complex.
That's what I was thinking too.
We want devotees to remember the concepts.
Right.
Like a simple thing can be, okay, what are the 6 urges? I'm just giving an example. So devotees should be able to remember what are the 6 urges that they should tolerate.
Right.
So these things we want devotees to learn.
So, okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
And
Vinay Prabhu?
Prabhuji,
So,
okay,
go
Prabhu.
ahead. So I was just like listening to your lecture and Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. Like, how should we treat devotees? How should we look at them? Not on their physical body or not looking faults. I think I was just getting ideas to just have brainstorming sessions locally in the temple, where it's more of a absorption. The concept is there, but it's very hard to see in the reality, right? Things don't work as we are being instructed. So it's a more of a mental practice and habit change.
Mm. Sure, Prabhuji.
So how do we increase the absorption of what we are being taught? Just continuously keep reading it.
I think with time we become more and more careful, and with time we grasp the concept more and more deeply. And when the Lord becomes more active in our heart, then when it comes the time of application, then Lord repeats the word of, then the Lord inspires us from within at the right time what we have heard and what we have read. and Lord gives us the intelligence what to do, what not. So really our application is dependent upon the mercy of the Lord.
Okay. Yeah, one of the ways we nourish ourselves is by seeing fault in others and feeling superior than others. But the verse says exactly do the opposite. And it can be a learning curve not to do that.
We have when the Lord sees our desire for um, respecting devotees, and I don't want to see fault in devotees. If I see fault in devotees, I want that fault to go away. When the Lord sees our sincere desires, then the Lord remove all those obstacles from our lives.
So we have to initiate the desire from ourselves. That will be the first step, right?
We don't want to see. Yes.
Okay.
We want to criticize ourselves. Why I'm seeing fault in devotees? They are so wonderful devotees. Why should I see fault in them? Krishna, please help me. I don't want to see this fault in them. But when we derive joy from seeing fault in them and we want to feel superior, then Krishna will nourish that desire also and he'll make us see fault. He will not be pleased with us, but he as I said earlier, he will sanction it, but he doesn't desire that.
Yeah, Gauranga Prabhu was saying if we see fault, our material propensity increases. If we
Yes.
see goodness, our spiritual propensity increases. So we have to be very careful.
All right. So shall we start with the review unless there are more questions at this point of time?
Prabhuji, I'm not good at slokas, so there we need not have to memorize the slokas, no?
We don't have to memorize the shlokas, but we should be able to memorize the concept. For example, if somebody asks, what are the 6 ways to develop loving relationship? So without the book, we should be able to say offering prasad, uh, accepting prasad, revealing one mind in confidence, giving gift, receiving gift, taking instructions confidentially. So if one is able to mm, explain these 6, like write the names of these 6, and then explain like what does it mean to reveal one's mind in confidence. What does it mean? Like just maybe just two lines about each, so that we it's not just the word, but we actually understand. For example, things favorable, enthusiasm. So we should be able to write at least 2-3 lines from the verse of what enthusiasm is. So if we say enthusiasm means um, jumping up and down, then that's good, but that's not what the verse says. The verse, like Prabhupada says, enthusiasm is endeavoring with using one's intelligence, activities using one intelligence. We should be able to speak at least 2 lines about enthusiasm, how it is described. Okay, patience. Okay, like at least 2-3 lines. We should be able to remember all 6 of them. There are all 6, no? 6 urges, 6 things favorable, 6 things unfavorable, 6 loving exchanges. Okay, what are those 6 6 6? Can we like speak without looking at the book? And can we explain 2 lines? Okay, mind urge of the mind. Okay, how to overcome the urge of the mind? Urge of the tongue, urge of the belly, urge of the genitals, urge to speak. Is that all right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So just the concepts. But we should be able to memorize the concept. We don't need to memorize word to word the translation.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Anything else before we go into? All right. Another thing that came up is next Tuesday is Advaita Charya's appearance day. So I think we won't, I mean, there is temple and there is festivity there and here also. So do you think we can do on Wednesday the exam next week? and we do from 7:30 to 9, so that we end by 9. How do you all feel about it?
Usually I have priest duty. Wednesday. I think somebody, at least in this group, I think at least one person will have duty every day.
I am also not available Wednesday, 7:30 to 9.
Yes, I can do 8:30.
Someone is saying it's good for me. What does other feel?
Hare
Or
Krishna Prabhuji, 8:30 will be too late for me. I'm just thinking if you are able to maybe send a poll, I don't know if that will help or how much that will help, but for 8:30 that will be late for me,
yeah,
Prabhuji.
yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, for most of them, 8:30 will be late. I do
So
agree.
how about Thursday?
Can't do Thursday. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm fine with either of them, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
It's so hard to get everybody on the same page.
Okay, I will try to see if I can swap. You can do it on Wednesday.
Prasanna Prabhu, I hear he is not available. Is everybody else available Wednesday, 7:30 to 9?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
I am
Prabhuji.
backup Seva Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am available Wednesday 7:30 to 9.
I'm also available, Prabhuji.
So I think are there, I mean, those who are available, I mean, if they're not speaking, I assume they are available. Except two devotees, is everybody available Wednesday 7:30 to 9?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Okay. So I think most of them are good. Uh, who are the two devotees who are not available? I heard Prasanna Prabhu and I think one Amrita Mataji.
Vinay, I have
Uh,
priest duty.
Yes, Prabhuji. I have backup Seva.
so Amrita Mataji, Vinay Prabhu and Prasanna Prabhu not available on Wednesday 7:30 to 9. So can I send you all three have to appear before Wednesday? And then I will send three of you individual question paper. You have to return in 1.5 hours, maybe Tuesday. And others with the group, I will send the exam paper in the group on the Zoom call 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Does this sound good with everyone?
Yes, Prabhu. I think we three can talk to you separately, Prabhu. When to
Yeah.
keep it.
Tuesday,
all,
you said, right? You'll send the paper on Tuesday.
to you, I will send it. I'll send personally to three of you because
Tuesday.
Tuesday I can do for three of you.
Okay.
So three of you, please contact me. I mean, text me once, remind me. And for the remaining, the exam is fixed Wednesday 7:30 to 9. Good. Any concerns, please raise now.
Prabhuji, is on Monday or Tuesday, Nityanand Trayodasi?
It's not. It's Advaita Acharya Prabhu appearance day on Tuesday.
So we are celebrating both Nityanand Trayodasi on Monday and.
No, it's a week difference. We will
Oh,
discuss.
okay.
Yeah,
Got
we
it.
will discuss later. You contact me separately. Okay.
Prabhuji, since you said like raise concerns now, I was thinking to text you, but I mean, or is it fine if I say something about the exam right now?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. So actually, if I have the option like to take it on Tuesday, I think Tuesday will work better for me because like as the week goes by, I have like more work than the previous day. So like it increases. So I think if only if you're able to do Tuesday for me, I'll be able to like that will work best for me. But if not, then I can do Wednesday. I mean, then I have to do Wednesday.
Yeah, okay. Maybe then four of you I will send on Tuesday paper.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Prabhuji, one more question. Prabhuji, for the answer, is there any word limit? Like the answer should be like 100 words or 200 words? Is that such thing or?
Okay, so one question. My request is be concise, be short. If you elaborate on one, you may have to miss certain questions. And each question carries same amount of marks. So my recommendation will be first write all of them, write in summary. We won't give marks based on number of words or if explanation is more, but we look for keywords. If the concept is clear, even if it is in 2 lines, you get the full marks.
Okay, Prabhuji, that's good.
And you don't need to give many examples. We just see, did you understand? That's all we are looking for.
Okay.
Hare Krishna
That's
Prabhuji,
nice.
how many questions will be there?
10 to 12.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Prabhuji, will this be online exam like in Word document, or do we have to handwrite the
Yeah,
answers?
it can be Word document. I will post the exam on Wednesday in the group. You all get the exam same time. The time will start at 7:30. I send the paper, and then I expect the answers back on email at 7:30. You download it, you write your name on the top, and then it's a Word document, and then you edit and then you fill it up.
Send it by 9 o'clock, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, it will be on Zoom. You all be there and write that time.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, is it okay to write it pen down and then take a picture and send it to your Gmail? Because I feel like I'm
That is
fast
okay.
in handwriting.
Yeah, that is okay, Mataji. Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
You can scan and send.
So, Prabhuji, one more thing. So, Prabhuji, where we need to you gonna send us the location where we need to upload the document, Prabhuji?
Yeah, it's in the group. Email
Okay.
address
Okay.
bhakti.shastri.rgv@gmail.com. Everything should be sent with that. And on the subject, write your name, space, NOI, exam.
Exam. Okay, and then we just send the email to that and attach the document.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thanks.
So, sorry, Prabhuji, I missed the initial thing. Like, what will be the test format? Is it like the similar to assignment, or it will be?
Yes, it's subjective.
Hmm.
1.5 hours, and you have to write. Yes, it's not fill in the blanks or true false. It's subjective. You have to explain it.
Okay. How many questions are there?
10 to 12 questions.
Okay.
All right. So I think we are good now. Okay. So we'll quickly summarize. In next 36 minutes we have. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurupilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavati Paschatya Desha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam Karuti Vachalam, Pangum Langayate Giri. Yat Kripata Maham Bante, Shri Guru Dinatarin, Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Chaitanya. Okay, so Nectar of Instruction is a book by Srila Rupa Goswami. It takes us from beginning stage of Shraddha all the way to Prema. The last 3 verse discusses about the advanced stage of the goal, which is Vrindavan, the stage of Bhava and Prem, and what attracts our heart at that point of time. Then the beginning, and the remaining verse goes in order. The first verse speaks about the urges. There are 6 urges: Vacho Vegam, Manasa, Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Uttara Prashta Vegam. Vacho is the urge to speech. It can be tolerated by speaking about Krishna. Mauna is not required. the purpose of not speaking is because the speaking should help us to remember Krishna. Um, and sometimes we speak something which is um, uh, maybe like we were discussing, fault finding is there, prajalpa is there, some news is there, and so many things we speak. They're unrelated to Krishna. So that urge to keep on speaking, even if it is not required, is something that one must try to tolerate those urges. Mm. The solution also is by speaking about Krishna. That is a solution. Then vacho vegam, manasa, mind. Um, the mind naturally becomes dissatisfied when think about either sense gratification or any other desire. If it is not connected to Krishna, brings anxiety. Um, the mind can be controlled by fixing the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, anger. Mm. Srila Prabhupada says in one line, when we become angry, then the whole body becomes polluted. Uh, it's like the whole consciousness becomes disturbed. The anger can be controlled, that urge can be controlled by using the anger in the service of the Lord. There is Hanuman example. Mother uses the anger as a tool to train the child. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry on Jagai and Madhai. So anger has its use. If somebody is blaspheming devotees or blaspheming the Lord, then we can show anger onto them, and that comes under uh, anger for like either ego is hurt or um, what I wanted didn't work out. Selfish motive, that urge needs to be tolerated. So vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jihiva, tongue. Tongue naturally has many desires. There are 6 kind of tastes. Sweet is there, salt is there, bitter is there, so like that. 6 kind of taste. Um, pungent is there. Um, and tolerating the urge means using that um, only to taste Krishna Prasad. By more, if we only eat what is Krishna Prasad, that's how the urge of the tongue can be tolerated. And it is the most difficult urge to tolerate actually. And it is also described how if the urge of tongue is tolerated, then every other sense, it can be assumed that all other senses urges are also tolerated. Then there is Udara and Prastha, which is Udara is belly and Prastha is genitals. The urge of belly and genitals, they are in line with the tongue. If the tongue is controlled, then belly and genitals will also be controlled. The belly can be controlled by fasting on recommended days like Ekadashi and appearance days, festivals. Mm. Then genital should be used only for procreation of children who we are bringing in this world to give them Krishna Bhakti. Only the service of the Lord should be used, otherwise that organ should remain as if it does not exist in the body. And once there are artificial means and using all these substitutes for sex life so that the child is not born but for one's pleasure, they all comes under uncontrolled urge of uh, rastha or genitals. So these are the 6 urges, and then we discuss about how these 6 urges can be um, um, if basically if our some of our urges are uncontrolled, how to bring them under control. And one who can tolerate these 6 urges can accept spiritual mass can accept disciples all over the world. Also shows the qualification of the Sri Guru. Then the second verse speaks about, you all can see here, the 6 things that will spoil our bhakti. Um, Atyahara prayasasya prajalpaniyamagraha janasanga laulyam cha shadbir bhakti vinashyati. These 6 things destroy our bhakti. Devotee should be able to explain them. Atyahara is eating, either eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than necessary. And the lot of atyahara leads to prayasa. Prayasa is over endeavor for mundane achievements. And if there is lot of prayasa and material world, then there is much less time for Krishna bhakti. That is unfavorable. Atyahara is over engagement of any senses, comes atyahara. Uh, then there is prajalpa. Prajalpa is talking unnecessary about subject matters which are not connected to Krishna. All those things comes there in prajalpa. We'll discuss in detail. No need to, whatever we discussed, you don't necessarily need to remember all those things. The different kinds of prajalpa, that is just for our understanding. But newspaper, television, novels, talking about various subject matters in this world. Among all the prajalpa, the most uh, harmful prajalpa is false or critical speaking, those ones. So prajalpa, then niyamagraha. Niyamagraha has 2 meanings, niyam agra and niyam agraha. So one of them is not following the scriptural regulations which are favorable for our bhakti. Like we are practicing and we still eat meat or still eat onion, garlic, and still whatever, we break regulative principles and we think it's okay if I don't do this. Bhakti is supreme. It's okay if I don't follow Ekadashi. It's okay if I don't do this. Then we are breaking this principle of Niyamagraha, which is detrimental. And one is, like Srila Prabhupada says, practicing the scripture rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement. And or rejecting the rules and regulations whimsically or working independently, what scripture says not following. So these are niyam agra and niyam agraha. Agraha means following, agraha means not following. We are very eager to follow some aspect because there is some benefit to it, maybe, or for some ulterior motives, but not for spiritual advancement, or because we are attached to following something. Something scripture says, like one example can be scripture says eating meat is okay for a particular purpose, so I want to eat. So I'm following what scripture says. May not be not recommended. For example, yagya. I want to do yagya. It is what Vedas said we should perform yagya, but not for this age. But still, I want to do yagya because that's what scripture says. So I'm attached to doing what the rules and regulations are um, for some personal gain. Because if I do this, this will happen. If I do this, my business will be good. If I do this, so that's niyamagraha, following for the sake of following, not for Krishna consciousness, or rejecting what I should be following for my Krishna consciousness. So that's niyam agra and niyam agraha. And then there is jana sangha. Jana sangha is associated with like material association, non-devotee association. Narottam Das Thakur says one should live in devotee association. We discussed about the benefit of what association can do for us. We had some detailed discussion on that. In association, we develop the desires of the people that we're associating with, good or bad. Also, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked who is a Vaishnava, Mahaprabhu says, Asat Sangatyaga Vaishnavacha. One should give up the association of non-devotees. In non-devotee association, it will become very hard to follow the regulated principles also in non-devotee association. One becomes weak in devotional service. faith is shaken up, so many disadvantages, and material desires will increase. So one should give up such association. Then the last is being greedy for mundane achievements, like very um, uh, um, I want to become successful in my research, in my career, um, and become like the topmost and have this like greedy for mundane achievements. Because even if you become the most successful, once the life is over, everything is finished. So mundane achievements means there is no spiritual benefit to it. But we want it just for the sake of either name and fame, um, prestige, resources, um, power for whatever reason. So being greedy for those things is not favorable for our devotion. So the third verse then speaks about the six things which are favorable for our bhakti. Utsaha nishaya dhairyat tat tat karma pravartanat sanga tyaga sato vritti sadbir bhakti vinashati. So utsaha means enthusiasm. Enthusiasm means uh, using our intelligence, how to spread Krishna consciousness or how to serve the Lord, um, uh, being eager, being eager. Um, in general, being enthusiastic means um, always willing to serve the Lord and always giving Krishna consciousness a priority. These are all signs of enthusiasm. So Prabhupada says enthusiasm is required in business also. People are very, or in um, any corporate meetings or wherever people want to grow, they take a lot of interest in those things. So enthusiasm in bhakti is like very eager.
அங்க உப்பு போட்டு கொஞ்சம் இது தரேன், உப்பு போட்டு வெந்நீர் போட்டு தரேன், கொஞ்சம் காவல் பண்றியா? இப்போ ஓகே ஆச்சா இல்ல ஃபீல் சம்திங்கா?
So very eager, or yeah, people are very eager and very enthusiastic in material world also. Likewise, saying yes to seva if it is possible for us. With grateful heart, Krishna has given me more engagement, and even if it is like, if it is too much, we surrender to Krishna. We are like, Krishna, I'm grateful. So always very enthusiastic to more and more and more. It's about our life of devotion is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is not a fit of energy that one exhibits in when there are hundreds of devotees and spiritual master is visiting, and then we are like we express a lot of like enthusiasm that time and the next day. But in general, if we are constantly, our lifestyle is constantly focused on our activities, daily activities is focused on uh, what will help me, and your actions will show that we really want to progress. That's a sign of real enthusiasm. Then there is utsaha nishchayat. Nishchayat means confidence. Um, so what does Prabhupada say about confidence? Endeavoring with confidence. Confidence means just by devotional service I will attain perfection. Nothing else is required. The confidence, Prabhupada says, confidence in the path of bhakti means no confidence in the path of karma, gyan, mystic yoga, tapa, vairagya, tyag, no confidence in all those paths. But bhakti itself is required to attain everything. That's all I must be focusing on. So that confidence one should have. Then patient, Prabhupada says, I came alone, and in the beginning there was struggle. But because I persevered, now so many people are enthusiastic to take up Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada given an example of a mother when she wants a child, she has to wait for 9 months. So Prabhupada says, just because we are very eager and we are showing by our lifestyle that Krishna is the topmost priority for me, and we have confidence in this path, um, and if we are very sincere, basically, being sincere means there is enthusiasm naturally. And if that is there, still the reciprocation may not come tomorrow. One has to be patiently wait and persevere till the time Krishna's mercy descends. Not losing hope um, is a sign of patience. Um, then Tattat Karma Pravartanat means following the regulative principles like hearing, chanting, remembering. Tattat Karma Pravartanat. Matlab whatever karma is mentioned or whatever activities are mentioned in the 9 process of devotional service, um, doing those is favorable. Hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the lotus feet, visiting holy places, reading Bhagavatam, doing those activities is Tattat Karma Pravartana. Then Sangha Tyagat comes before also, same principle. Sangha Tyagat, yeah. Um, non-devotee, giving up non-devotee association. This is one thing which is included in both previous verse also. And the last is Satovritti. Satovritti means following the footsteps of previous acharyas. How Srila Prabhupada acted in their life. Mahajanayana Katha Sapam. Life's perfection can be achieved by following the footsteps of great souls. How our spiritual master are acting their life, the life of previous acharyas. What example Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set for us? How to deal in every situation, how not to deal in situations. That is Satovritti, following the footsteps of previous. Because the life of great personalities is the walking scripture. We can understand Shastra through the lives of these devotees. So these 6 things, Shadbir Bhakti Pranashyati, uh, uh, these 6 things will enhance our devotion. Then fourth is the 6 symptoms, Priti Lakshana, the symptoms of love. Uh, so there is, as you can see, giving gift and receiving gift, giving prasad and accepting the invitation for prasad, and revealing one's mind in confidentially and listening to instructions confidentially. Basically, we reveal our mind and we take instructions. So both thing happens confidentially. So these are the 6 things that enhance loving exchanges. Then I think this is self-explanatory. Just little bit, one more line is sufficient. Everybody understand these concepts. Srila Prabhupada also gives an example of in ISKCON, we have life member. So we receive money, we give them gifts. We they ask, they inquire, and we give them answers. Um, um, we invite them to the temple and feed them. They invite devotees in their home and they feed the devotees. So in this way, these 6 exchanges are there. So in this way, they develop relationship with devotees and become more favorable to Krishna consciousness. And same when people come to the temple. So basically, these 6 things help. Um, then Srila Prabhupada also says um, um, these 6 things Prabhupada says is also there in business people or others. They invite to some restaurants, discuss about their business plan, reveal to them what is in their mind, hear from them. Okay, we'll apply this. So all these things happens in mundane world also, and same thing can be applied in devotee relationship also. Then Srila Prabhupada very strictly he says, please do not have these 6 loving exchanges with Mayavadis. Don't hear from them, don't reveal your mind to them. Because Prabhupada gives an example of if you feed milk to a snake, the snake will become more poisonous. So no need to reveal your mind or tell them. Um, don't take gift from them, don't give them gift. Don't eat food cooked by them and don't invite them for prasad also. Or don't develop relationship with them because it is very dangerous because they're envious of God. And by that association, if we hear their philosophy, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Sari Raka Bhasya Suila Haila Sarvanash. If we hear Sari Raka Bhasya, which is Adi Shankaracharya philosophy, everything will be destroyed. So do not have these 6 exchanges with Mayavadis. Why? Because they are against our propagating Krishna consciousness. Why? Because they just don't believe in God, that God has a form, Krishna is God. So it's very detrimental for us. Okay, and Prabhupada also said they're envious of God, so we don't want to have relationship with them. Then the fifth one is uh, how to deal with 3 different kinds of devotees. So there are 3 kinds of devotees. There is Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari. Kanishtadhikari is who has undergone first initiation. Radhesham, who has undergone first initiation, and their faith is pliable. Um, one should mentally honor them. In that also we discussed 3 different kind of, that is not required, but that is for our more understanding, because we discuss how Kanishtadhikari and also some are who are just ready for Madhyama, and some are who just came to the temple today or chant the holy name once and are breaking regulative principles also. So they're also Kanishta beginners, and they're also beginners, but they're very advanced beginners. But in general characteristics, so mentally honor those who have undergone first initiation, um, um, who chants the holy name, who, and another symptom of Kanishta Adhikari is they know how they serve the Lord, but they don't know how to respect the devotees, or they have no desire to serve the devotees. Kanishta Adhikari. The Madhyama Adhikari, they have undergone Brahman initiation, they are engaged in worship of the deities, they make friendship with the devotees, they avoid the envious, they preach or show mercy to the innocent. Their faith is very strong, but their Shastric understanding is not. They may not be able to answer all the questions shastrically, but their own faith is very strong. Even if they're shaken up and they cannot prove, next day again they will get up, chant the holy name, hear their spiritual master, serve in the temple. So their faith is not shaken up, even if, yeah, they cannot defeat shastrically. Then there is Uttamadhikari, serve the Uttamadhikari, physically bow down to Madhyamadhikari, and mentally honor Kanishtadhikari. That's how we deal with 3 different kinds of devotees. Uh, Uttamadhikari, they are completely free from the propensity to criticize anybody. They're Uttamadhikaris. They are they see everybody on an equal platform. Um, and those who are envious also, they see them as, they see Krishna in the heart of all living entities. So they see everybody as part and parcel of Krishna. Basically, they see Krishna everywhere. Um, uh, yeah, they are shastrically, their faith is super strong at the highest level, and they shastrically also they can refute any arguments. Um, yeah, basically pure devotees of the Lord. So this is verse number 5. Then verse number 6. Verse number 5 and 6 speaks about how to associate with devotees. Fifth speaks about how to associate and what to do with devotees. What to do with what kind of, how to deal with what kind of devotees. And 6 speaks about how not to deal with devotees, and which is by not seeing fault in them.
Prabhuji, in the fifth uh, is the second one is between second and the third. They see all the devotees. They don't criticize. So the Madhyamadhikari, they also do they can they criticize, or they also don't criticize, but they don't have sastric understanding.
They don't criticize, but they see some as envious. They can see that these people are against God, or they criticize God. So they avoid the envious. But Uttamadhikari see those who are envious also, that he's also everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. They see Krishna is in the heart of every living entity. They respect everybody.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So sixth speaks about how not to deal with devotees. Um, Basically, don't please don't judge devotees based on external appearance. Like here, everything is, a devotee should be able to remember these concepts. Um, Like if the body is infirm, if the body is old, if the complexion is not fair or dark or whatever, or multicolor discomplexion, um, uh, body is diseased, deformed, body is not from a high birth, or maybe like born in a low family. Um, um, so these are the some of the ways one should not see a pure devotee. One should not see any devotees. These are the not the ways to see whom do I respect or what kind of respect. But whom to give more respect is not based on their looks, physical appearance, and other things, but it is based on whether they are Kanishtadikari, Madhyamadikari, Uttamadikari, not based on external view. Um, uh, don't see imperfections in them. The example given is like the Ganges. There may be some mud bubble form, etc. Some impurities may be there, some kachara, kura, many things may be there, but the water of Ganges are never polluted. So likewise, these devotees may have imperfections, but that does not pollute their consciousness. Krishna consciousness is completely internal. So how not to see devotees? How to see devotees, how to deal with different kinds of devotees, how not to deal with devotees, in which ways. Um, this, if we see from this perspective, it constitutes an offense. So these are the various ways one can commit an offense to the devotee. So then the seventh verse speaks about that how the name of Krishna, the form of Krishna, quality of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna, they are transcendently sweet, like a sugar candy, but they taste bitter to those who are diseased. Like jaundice, sugar candy tastes bitter. Likewise, those who are in ignorance, the disease is compared to ignorance. Those who are in ignorance, ignorance means um, they have forgotten themselves of that they are eternally servant of the younger son of Nanda Maharaj, Shri Krishna. I Nanda Tanuja Kinkar, the Kinkar of the younger son of Nanda eternally. They've forgotten that, and they have identified themselves on a bodily conception. And now they are having many desires of whether achievement, profiteering, fame, or things in this world. This world will make me happy. So this is ignorance, and because we have a lot of taste in this material world and desires, lot of taste in the desires in this material world, that is the disease, the ignorance, and that makes the holy name of Krishna taste like bitter. But just like how the jaundice is cured by sugar candy, likewise the holy name, although may taste bitter in the beginning, by continuous utterances of it, will remove the ignorance, will remove those material disease, unwanted habits, will awaken our relationship with the divine. And then we'll be able to, in that pure sambandha, relationship with the Lord, we'll be able to chant purely. And how this happens from this side of ignorance all the way to uh, pure taste, high taste in the holy name. Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that there are stages. Um, it begins with little faith, initial faith. Then, um, um, when Krishna sees that there is some faith, then Krishna sends um, sadhu sangha, and through sadhu sangha we get to know about the path of bhajan, and through bhajan the anarthas are eradicated, and once anarthas are eradicated one becomes fixed in devotion, the stage of nishtha. And when one becomes fixed and practices with fixed determination, then one develops real taste. And when one becomes develop taste or ruchi, then one gets attached to the Lord to the stage of ashakti. When the attachment further deepens, one starts awakening some emotions or bhav. And when the bhav thickens, it turns into love or prema. So these 9 stages from Shraddha to Prema is described in the last 3 paragraphs of this seventh verse. Then the eighth verse speaks about the essence of all advice is when one has become or awakened, one's taste in the holy name, then one should utilize one's full time in remembering and glorifying the name from qualities and pastimes. One should go and live in Vrindavan. One should take shelter of an advanced devotee in Vrindavan, um, uh, and render service under their guidance. Um, Srila Prabhupada explains that there are five kind of rasas. This verse speaks about the rasas, eighth verse. There is Santaras, there is Sakhyaras, which is friendship, there is Vatsalyaras, which is parenthood, there is Dasyaras, servitorship. So Santa, Dasya, then Sakhya, then Vatsalya, and Madhurya, which is conjugal relationship with Krishna. Um, these are the five rasas. And in whichever rasa one is attracted to, which one comes to know through the path of hearing, uh, then one should, when one is attracted to a particular rasa, and then in that particular rasa, when one hears about the devotees who are in those rasa and serving Krishna right now, um, uh, then one is attracted to a particular associate and want to serve Krishna following that associate. Uh, and then if one performs bhajan in that way while living in Vrindavan, then one gets a chance to go back to Godhead and serve Krishna under the guidance of that uh, associate who the devotee wants to follow. This is also called Raganuga Bhakti, and this is the eighth verse. After one has developed taste in the holy name and the ignorance is removed and natural relationship is awakened in one of the five rasas, then that's how to make progress at that point of time. The last phase of devotional life. Then Srila Prabhupada also explains about there are various stages. It begins with Shravana Dasa, you start hearing. Then Varna Dasa, you come to the point of acceptance. Acceptance, whatever we have heard, we accept, we are trying to follow. The faith is very high, more like Madhyamadhikaris, like Varna Dasha, stage of acceptance. And then come the Smaranavastha. In Smaranavastha, there are five stages of Smaran that also is spoken in this verse. Five stages of Smaran starts with recollection, absorption, concentration, and then thickened concentration, and then unbroken concentration. You can read the technical details. Um, Let me open this for you. Uh, In the neophyte stage, one should always engage in hearing Krishna Katha. This is Shavana Dasha, the stage of hearing. By constantly hearing the transcendental holy name of Krishna and hearing of his transcendental form, quality, pastime, one can attain the stage of acceptance, which is called Varna Dasa. When one attains this stage, he becomes attached to hearing of Krishna Katha. When one is able to chant in ecstasy, he attains the stage of Smaranavastha. When the holy name is absorbed, that's when the Smaran will start awakening. The state of remembering, Smaranavastha, recollection, absorption, meditation, constant remembrance, and trance are the five items of progressive Krishna Smaran. At first, remembrance of Krishna may be interrupted at intervals, but later remembrance proceeds uninterrupted. When remembrance is uninterrupted, it becomes concentrated. It is called meditation. When meditation expands and becomes constant, it is called anusmriti. By uninterrupted and unceasing anusmriti, one enters the stage of samadhi or spiritual trance. After Smarana Dasha or Samadhi has fully developed, the soul comes to understand his original constitutional position. At that time, he can perfectly and clearly understand his eternal relationship with Krishna. This is called Sampati Dasa or perfection of life. So these are the five stages Prabhupada speaks about, the five rasas Prabhupada speaks about, and the concept of Raganuga Bhakti Prabhupada speaks about in this verse. Then the 9th, 10th, and 11th verse, we will take just 3 more minutes. The 9th, 10th, and 11th verse speaks about the glories of Radha Kund. Higher than material world is Vaikuntha, higher than Vaikuntha is higher than Vaikuntha. Brahma Samhita actually says higher than Devi Dham is Mahesh Dham, and higher than Mahesh Dham is Vaikuntha Dham. And here Rupa Goswami directly goes that superior to this material world. Vaikuntha, higher than Vaikuntha is Mathura, higher than Mathura is first Dwarka, then Mathura, and then Vrindavan, and then Govardhan, and then Radhakund. And Radhakund is as dear to Krishna as Srimati Radharani. There are multiple kinds of devotees, and the division of places is verse number 9. The division of personalities is the gradation of personalities is verse number 10. And the glories of bathing in Radhakund is verse number 11. What happens if one bathe, and the position of Radhakund is verse number 11. Number 10 speaks about higher than karmis is Gyanis, higher than Gyanis are those who are liberated, Vimukta Gyanis, higher than liberated Gyanis are devotees, higher than devotees are pure devotees, higher than pure devotees are the gopis, and higher than gopis is Srimati Radharani, who and Radharani is as dear as to her kund. This is gradation of bhaktas or living entities, gradation of places and gradation of jivas. And then the last verse speaks about how her kund is um, most dear to Sri Krishna, um, the topmost, the highest. And what is the benefit of bathing? It is said um, if one simply bathes once within these holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. One bathing is sufficient to awaken one's love for Krishna. So that's all. There are more details. It's always nice to read as much as you can before the exam. But from exam point of view, if you understood whatever we discussed today, um, you are good with the exam. Okay, how are we doing? Does the summary makes helps? Are there any discussions?
Prabhuji, I wanted to ask about Niyamagraha. The way that I understood it was that Niyamagraha is a combination of Niyamagraha and Niyamagraha, which means we accept certain rules and regulations of the Shastras that are maybe beneficial for material development, but we reject the ones that are good for our spiritual development. Is that accurate to the twofold meaning of the word, Prabhuji?
Can you say that again? The twofold meanings?
Yes, Prabhuji. So the word niyamagraha is that we accept certain rules and regulations, maybe ones that are good for material development, and niyamagraha that we reject rules and regulations, those that are good for spiritual development. So we basically, the way that I understood it is that we pick and choose which will be better for us materially, and which we don't want to do because they have some spiritual benefit and we don't see the material benefit in those rules.
Mataji, you understood correctly.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay. Any
Hare
other
Krishna. Yeah, Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji.
question?
Prabhuji, the other point related to that, saying not to do yagya, you mentioned. So Prabhuji, just from a understanding point, but doing something not for the material benefit, say the Pitru Tarpana or the Devasa, like that kind of thing.
That's okay. That's okay. But it's like, I'm doing yagya for a business obstacle. So now I'm using what is meant to please the Lord for. I'm very much attached to a particular rule and regulation, which is mentioned in the scriptures. But I am doing it for this, not for the sake of my spiritual advancement. But I'm attached because there is some other benefits coming from it.
Okay.
Not beneficial.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Anything else? Are we good?
Prabhuji, it was very good explanation, and it's in a brief summary. Prabhuji, um,
One
so
one
so
one
Prabhuji,
discussion for the entire NOI. Why I take so many sessions?
yes, Prabhuji. But it's a good record. Prabhuji, my only thing is that can we have the recording, earliest. But whenever we want to take a look of the NOI, we can always, hear that recording. But definitely, Prabhuji, it will be help us before the exam. But I totally understand the whole NOI in this session, Prabhuji. So thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
The NOI in itself feels unlimited. What to say about Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam?
अभी तो शुरुआत है प्रभु जी, बहुत कुछ आना बाकी है, अभी तो beginning है.
Prabhuji, I have one question, Prabhuji. There are so many good things we learn here, that how to deal with devotees, how to not to deal, what to not to deal with the devotees, all those things. But when we are associated in the Krishna consciousness, and the management and all these arrangements, and we don't want to see the fault in other devotees, but the when we see that they are not going with the flow of the people, other members, and they are just putting their own, they're getting selfish, even then we see, that you have to speak up. Then you have to speak up, you have to say that this is not good for the whole efforts and those kind of things. So how to deal with that, Prabhuji?
I mean, we have to speak in a humble way. That's all. And we try to speak. It's not what we say; it's how we say. We try to speak in a way with our reasoning, and this is why. And then after speaking, we say, um, um, "If I spoke anything wrong, please forgive me. But this is my understanding." So in that way, action is needed, but we try to speak in such a way that it doesn't hurt others also.
Prabhuji, it happens like multiple times, Prabhuji. So, and I don't want to degrade my,
Onji.
my advancement in bhakti also, Prabhuji.
See, one thing is, Mataji, see if those whom you are speaking, see if they are willing, if they see you, see some people may see you as authority or in a way that you are their well-wisher, or they are like, say if you say something to your son or to your daughter or to somebody who is relatively new, who sees you as maybe in some way superior, in some way, and they are open to listen to you, it becomes easier. But if somebody is not open to listen to us, then that's where the challenge comes, and there we can bring somebody else to whom they can listen, and then give our ideas to them. In a way, we want to communicate that the things gets done in the right manner. At the same time, we don't want to hamper our spiritual life. Does that make sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, absolutely, Prabhuji. But yeah, then yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
What do we do? We are in this material world. Problems will always be there. We do our best to deal. But rest assured, if we are doing with the right motive, Krishna will offer protection.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. All right. So thank you all for joining. It's a joy to discuss nectar of instruction. Tomorrow we will begin our nectar of devotion introduction. And next Wednesday, 7:30 to 9 will be the exam. And 4 devotees, I'll send them paper separately on Tuesday to appear for the exam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If I spoke anything wrong, please forgive me as a humble servant. Dandavata Pranam, Sari Krishna. Thank you.
Then
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.